Now it's time for us to meet the love doctors for today. Yesterday we had a great time, and I am certain that today you're going to learn a lot. We're going to be delving into managing expectations in marriage. Now, people have wild ideas. They're like, oh, don't worry, when I get married, it will die off. And then when they get married, they see Shege, and Shege sees them. So I don't want to ask Goku the whole experience. I mean, Kofi fell in love with some girl and was like, "Oh, don't worry, when we meet, it's just gonna be all nice and everything." And then later he's like, "Hey, the girl showed me Shaggy." Okay, you don't worry, just confess your sins. Zipped, right? Zipped. Yeah, but managing expectations. People have wild expectations. And so today, to help us do the discussion, I already said I couldn't mention the name. And they corrected me 2 minutes ago, but my expectations I don't even get it. It hasn't been met. So I'm going to have to give the lady the chance to mention the name right. Yes. So, ma'am, the name again. The surname, that's
the surname is Nikiema.
What's the meaning?
I mean a strong man.
A strong man.
Yeah, healthy, strong man.
A healthy, strong man.
Yeah. So she actually fell in love with a healthy, strong man. Yeah. Married a healthy, strong man. It's a healthy, strong relationship.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Nikiema. Yeah. Because in Ewe, we have Nikiema.
Wow, don't do
yes,
that.
Because languages are quite funny.
Yeah, especially Nigerian.
Yeah, and I didn't want to mention that sounding very Ewe. So, Nikiema. So,
it's a Musi language.
Musi language. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
Great. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you so much.
The very first question that I'm interested in, of course, from yesterday's conversation is the longevity of marriage. Before we get into expectations. Yeah. So for how long?
We've been married now for, this year will be 17 years.
17.
Yeah.
That's a full lifetime for somebody. 17 years.
I see. And again, first question I asked, no, the second question yesterday was, where did you meet? Can you remember? Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay.
We met actually during a church program.
Oh, okay.
Specifically during one all night.
Oh, okay.
Watch
and pray situation.
Yeah, we went to watch and pray. Yeah, so we really watched and then we prayed.
Okay. And what caught their attention? Is this something you had in your mind with expectations and specifications, the height, the disposition?
Let me channel that.
Okay. Okay.
You don't want any trouble.
Did you see her at the all night? That said all night. Who said hi first? Was it after or before during the prayers?
Yeah, I took the step.
Okay.
And yes, as she was saying, sometimes we go for some spiritual encounter or, seeking for some needs in there, some spiritual needs to be met.
Okay.
And then in the course of that service, the Lord enables us to make some awesome other encounters.
Okay.
And that's what basically happened. Well, I wasn't going to the all night with the intention of, meeting someone or engaging someone.
Okay.
But during the break, it's a revival program, so we had a break. So during the break, we went out. Yeah. And then after greetings, something started, dwelling in the heart. Though it wasn't some kind of, but it wasn't just that led me to make any proposal or whatsoever. I have to carry it to prayer and then seek counsel as well before making the step now to propose to her. So basically that is.
Right.
But there's something you didn't say. That was actually the first time we hadn't met before.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
And when you saw him, you were like, He has to be the one.
So you're not part of the same church?
Actually, we're part of the same, but different branches.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was in the headquarters. I was in a different place.
Okay.
So,
And that all night brought all of you
exactly.
together.
Yeah.
Pastors, please continually bring people together for all night services.
Say that again. Say that again.
All the branches, so we know what is happening in the
If it were a
branches.
corporate institution, it would have been different because, I mean, you're not allowed to date each other, even if you're in different branches.
Oh,
For
no,
some
no.
people, you're not allowed,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but
sure.
that's the beauty of the kingdom of God. Yeah, we
Yes.
get together and then we
That's
just get
right.
together.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right, but how does it feel like for you? I mean, she's the certified counselor, right? And you're a pastor. I know that we expect that pastors should automatically be counselors, but how are you able to manage that being a husband to a counselor who gives all the right advices to people?
Well, yes, as a pastor, you are somehow called to counsel people. That is the Christian, the church way of counseling. But this is far different from what she's doing. What she's doing is professional counseling, and that later she will have time to delve into those details. But, well, I may say it's a plus. Having her as a professional counselor by my side is a big plus. And I'm also into business, so it makes it, though sometimes I may want to have that ample time to spend with people, it makes it a bit complex. So some of those needs are being pushed to her to handle. And she knows how to handle them and handle them very professionally. So for this, I really thank God to have her by my side, yes.
Coco, marry me, I'm a counselor.
I know. But tell me about it. Was it at the time, this getting into the expectations now, was it at a time where you were very interested in getting to the next level of your life where you wanted to get married, or just as people will say, it was accidental, and you felt like, Lord, I met a handsome man, I brought him to prayer, and so please, can you also bless it?
Let me say this. I was expecting it.
Okay.
It was part of the expectations. But since this is a spiritual body, let me say this, let me confess. As part of my expectations, there was something that I had at the back of my mind that I do not really want to suffer in relationship. I don't want to get into this relationship, break and go to another relationship. It was something that I did not want to experience. So one day I closed from school and I was walking and I'm like, Lord, this is how I'm going to meet my husband. I will greet him and I will know that this is him. Oh yeah. And then it happened exactly so. But then when I was going for the meeting, that was not the expectation. That was not the reason why I went. But then when it happened, I was like, okay, this is also part of what is I'm supposed to have. So though, yes, partly I was expecting, but then that was not the reason why I went to the prayer meeting. But when it came, I embraced it. Though I took some time before saying yes. Oh yeah, I put him on hold for 3 months. Before saying yes,
That
because
was too much, too bad.
no, I had my reasons. I wanted to be sure. I didn't know him. All right, so we just met, and then I wanted to be sure in prayer that okay, this is the right person. And then let me say this: since we are talking about expectations, some of the things were not like how I wanted to see, so it's like it was delaying a little bit.
Yeah, you needed to be clear.
Oh yeah. So that is it.
Beautiful expectations. We're told that love is blind, but marriage is the eye opener. How do we manage our expectations even before we start to let's take the first 5 years of marriage, because that's when people are like, no, this is not what I thought about, this is not how do we manage it so that one, it doesn't affect us and not even the next person?
All right. Personally, I want to start by saying this, that there's a lot of work that we need to do as individuals, trying to be realistic with our expectations. And we are not supposed to be laying everything on hold, that everything is going to be okay when I get married. Because when we talk about expectations, these are strong beliefs that this is how the future is going to look like, or this is how my spouse, I'm expecting this. These are the things that he's going to do or she's going to do for me. So automatically we are ahead of time. But let me clear this. I don't want us to confuse it with our faith. It's okay to believe that things are going to be okay. That is how we see our faith. That, okay, the expression of my faith is that things are going to be okay. But then at the same time, we need to be realistic in our expectation that, okay, if I'm permitted to say, it's like we should be open-minded that anything at all can happen. Not in a negative way, but then as children of God, we understand that it is possible that, okay, in the first year of marriage, maybe something, we are not being pessimistic. How will I put it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yes, pessimistic. So, but then we should get prepared in our mind, because when we set things higher than it's supposed to be, we can be discouraged. Let me take an example. When you are married, in your first year of marriage, there are certain things that are expected to happen. For instance, the woman may get pregnant if it comes. Then maybe you were expecting that by the first year my wife should start working and then bringing money on the table. And then she gets pregnant, had complications. Maybe she's not able to handle work as it's supposed to be. Then if you were expecting that I'm getting married so that you put something on the table, I put something on the table, automatically you begin to see that you are disappointed. You are like frustrated. And then when we continue to go that way, by 5 years' time, we may look like, what did I bargain for? Is this what I bargained for? No. And then we get frustrated more than being like happy in marriage. So I want to tell us that it is good to have expectations, but then we should not have unrealistic expectations, because we can really, really, really get disappointed. 5 years is not 5 days. A lot of things can happen. And we also understand stages in marriage as well. And then from one chapter, I can go to another thing. And then we should get prepared to face whatever is coming in within 5 years of marriage.
Amazing. That means that we must put our expectations more like smart. Yeah. Just like the way we set goals, right? It should be smart expectations.
Exactly.
And that also means that we can actually put our expectations in maybe like financial expectation, emotional expectation, and all of that. But how then is there a way that we can have these discussions? Should we actually have these discussions of expectations even before we marry? Or we should have it after we've exchanged our rings?
Well, I think it's fair to have that discussion prior to marriage and even when you enter into marriage. And expectations are normal. You cannot venture into marriage without expectations.
Yes.
What will be the drive? What will be the passion? It is the expectations that you carry that will make it, passionate for you to venture into it. By then, as you were saying, you should be measured and make sure those expectations are within your range, being realistic, as you were saying. And you were talking about the first 5 years. As you were saying, looking at the stages that happen in marriages, it is very important to be flexible enough to adjust. Once you communicate and then you discuss about them, you will find a need to adjust. Pregnancy coming can redefine, some expectations. I may simply say, when your expectations come to meet the very realities of marriage, you need to adjust. You need to adjust. So it's a constant way of adjustment that you will need to put in place so that you do not just hold on some things that will negatively impact your marriage. So being realistic and flexible enough to adjust is key.
I see. Let's jump a bit. Let's take a leap, right? To where 5 years, 10 years, the expectations you had are now not being met in there. What's the approach like? Where I can understand, I come back to the issue of discussions before marriage, but let's go to that place and return.
Should I say something about the discussion before I go there?
I know. Fine, it's fine. Go ahead. Anyhow you want to.
Yeah. I want to say that this has to be well understood before you say I do. I want to take an example. Last week, some youth of the church asked me a question that what happens if you get married and you want your wife to work and she decides that she want to be a housewife? That what happened? And I'm like, these are the things that you're supposed to talk about before getting married, because your expectations towards marriage will look like, okay, I want my wife have a career, this. These are your goals and that. And then here she is, she has no intention of working. So now, where's the marriage? Definitely you are going to have issues with that. So for me, you have to discuss, prior to marriage, you have to sit down, talk about your expectations. Because if your expectations are not expressed, if you don't communicate them, you would be frustrated. Because no human being would have the capacity to enter within another person to determine what you want me to do, or what I should do or what I shouldn't do. So therefore, these are the things that happen. 5 years, 10 years, maybe you were expecting certain things to be done, and here is the case, and these are not happening. So what should you do? I believe that you should communicate. You should communicate, and I want to say, don't even wait for 10 years, 5 years, 10 years to communicate certain things, because that may be too late. That may be too late, because when your expectations are not met, definitely it will create crisis in marriage. And then at times, the level of certain crisis in marriage cannot be repaired. So it's better we start addressing them, that you are 1 year in marriage, okay, prior to marriage, 1 year, 2 years, all right, maybe you are expecting your spouse to do this or do that. And then you could see that literally the person is not doing it or not bringing out what you are expecting to see. Talk about it. And if you find out that, okay, maybe this is the reason, maybe after 10 years you now find out that this is the reason why I'm frustrated, still talk about it. Yes, still talk about it, communicate, and then I think this is what I may say. But if it is in counseling, I may investigate to find out how did we get there.
Okay.
That's all right. So that proper follow-up should be done. So
very stubborn partners who probably would not budge, and to the other partner, it's grounds for divorce or grounds for separation. But Bible clearly states the grounds for divorce. It's not like somebody is not bringing the other expectations, clearly immorality and all of that. But I feel that, look, I've been hoodwinked. What you told me you're going to do, what we discussed, you are not doing it. It's 10 years. The marriage, I'm not enjoying this. What do I do? Do I still break?
Well, I think that is why pre-marital counseling is very important. Because I guess they cannot just, all of them cannot just be shuttered. Well, when you have expectations, like goals that you set for yourself, they may not all come to pass or to fulfillment, but some of them you will be able to realize them. Then you revisit those ones, those unfulfilled ones, to see how you can readjust to reposition yourself to, have them fulfilled. So when this pre-counseling or this pre-marital counseling is not done, people come into marriage with wild expectations. And as we said earlier, the unrealistic approach of it can make it extremely difficult. For example, you are sitting, you want your spouse to make you happy. She will or he should be the source of your happiness. It can happen. True. Or you want your spouse to be that perfect.
Yeah.
You know, until you are no more, that perfection is not you know, at this level of humans. So she will have, or he will have, still have his or her weaknesses. So you have to cope with that. So I still hammer on adjustment. I still hammer on adjustment because life circumstances will not predict. They don't announce themselves before coming in. So when you face some circumstances, somebody, a couple may be here, just an example, and then one is reassigned to Central Region or to Bono. You see, so the couple right away must sit and talk about it. You know, issues related to the children, even their own intimacy and all of that, so that you redefine, you know, some of the goals that you set earlier and all that. So you need to have constant adjustment so that you can be able, those ones that are not really met as expectations can be converted into some other things. Because sometimes we view things solely in a negative manner, but that which has come as a negative event or whatsoever can be reconverted into something good. So, and the Lord has the will, and we will surely get there.
I guess it's all to do with commitment. Yeah, sure.
I think you mentioned something that has to do with infidelity and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for grounds for divorce.
Exactly. Now, there are cases, for instance, where you see before marriage, a man or the woman is cheating. And then that continues. Maybe the man or the lady was caught up at a point and, oh, I won't do it again. And then it continues. On and on and on and on and on and on. After 5 years, 10 years, I think one will get fed up.
Okay.
At this point, no one should advise you. Do what is best for you. Okay. Do what is best for you. Because at this point, if you have started seeing those red flags, that as you are dating, you go to one person, you've seen him or her cheating, definitely it's a sign that something is wrong somewhere. So, and then if the person is not able to control it, I don't think you are the one who will be able to control it for him or her. So when it is like that, you are the one who took the decision. Do what is best for you. All right, and then bear the consequences. That is what I can say.
Wow. Do what's best for you, Goku. You should do what's best for me. What about if you're dating somebody who doesn't seem to have expectations or goals? Or, okay, let me put it this way. We're hanging out, and I'm like, we're going to get married. And hi, you're pastoral, you're everything, you're spiritual, prayer warrior, in fact. And I'm like, okay, so what are the goals? I mean, we're supposed to put our marriage in, we're supposed to have some expectations, what we're supposed to achieve together. And you tell me, follow me as I follow Christ. Where the Lord leads me is where we will go. You know, what's the expectation about finances? What should we be building? Don't worry, when the Lord provides, we'll be. I mean, if you have you know, very spiritual people. When marriage is actually also very spiritual, but there's a physical side to it. How do you manage that? How do you do that?
Well, I think sometimes, as you said, we view it on one side, the spiritual side, and that is really unfortunate for one to just focus on that and will not get any expectation at all. Sometimes when I look at it, there wouldn't be any passion. There should be some kind of discussion going on. I agree. That, okay, well, when we marry, though they may not be realistic, but at least there must be something done in you, or, you know, that when we marry, that is what we are going to do, the kind of house that we intend building, number of children, and all of that. So if somebody clearly lacks, I mean, these elements, I wonder how passionately he can really, you know, venture with another person into marriage. Maybe due to his personality type, and I don't want to venture into that too much.
Yeah.
He may be somebody, or she may be somebody who is not that open to discuss, but there will still be in him some unspoken expectations, you know, and that leads us to this very difficult and complex scenario, because when they are not spoken, it is extremely difficult for them to be met, because I wouldn't by then know what you really expect from me, and then it will become very difficult to meet those expectations. So again, having the tool to communicate often, you know, discuss about it, you know, the expectations, the after marriage is very important. Unfortunately, what we see today is that many young people will be focusing, preparing for the wedding, you know, which will just happen
Preach.
on one day, you know, some few hours, and then that is all. But the preparation should be focused on the marriage. So on the wedding day, you need just to come together. The ministers will attend to you and all that decently. But what happens next should be the subject of discussion whenever you meet. So that is what I have to say.
Right, the phone lines are open now. Please join us. Let's hear what you have. If there are questions, we'll answer them. If there are submissions, want to take them. If there are comments, general comments, we want to pick them as well. And so our guests are here, Mr. and Mrs. Nikiema, right? Nikiema, they are here with us. Expectations from family, and this time cultural tendencies that creep into it. I don't know what tribe and what you say Musi, and that's from where? The north, right? Tell me about it. Yesterday we touched on traditional practices that come in where the man is a king to people, the woman is a servant with the children, and some others. Are there ones that are particular to the Musis and that creep into it, that become a problem? Because we want to tackle it from all angles, where people who belong to tribes begin to move away from some of these practices.
Yes, there are.
Okay.
And in my culture, for instance, the man is the king.
I hope it will not put you in trouble.
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
The man is the king in the house.
Okay.
And the woman should not talk when she's not allowed to talk.
Okay.
Yeah. So she has her place.
Hold it there. Let's pick this call. I see, but hold it there. Mr. Kadiri is calling us from Accra. Okay. Mr. Kadiri, if you can hear me, good morning and thanks for joining us.
Okay, thanks for connecting me too. I want to ask a question. What I want to ask is, I wanted to date a certain lady, and then she asked me if I wanted to date her, asking then I said I want to marry her. And then she told me that, okay, she's also interested in me, but before then, she is also dating another guy. So unless she will leave that guy, I have to come forward and come and ask her hand in marriage before she will leave that guy, which I find it very difficult to understand, because I asked her for how long was she dating that guy, and then she said she was dating him almost 3 years now. And if the guy is not willing to marry her, and then she's still sticking to him, and me, I wanted to marry her, and then she's still telling me that she is with another guy, unless I came forward before. So I need that advice. Is it a right thing to go for, or should I ignore it? Because If the person is not willing to marry you and there is not talking anything about marriage with you and then still dating him just for dating sake, and someone wants to marry you and then you are still telling the person like you are with someone unless I'm ready before you leave that guy, what does that mean? Okay.
Well, I'm told a wise man once said, if they've not put a ring on the finger, it's friendly match. And once they put the ring, it's league. You are playing Premier League now.
Exactly.
The woman wants to go Premier League. But tell me about it. Before we go to the Moses, tell me about this particular one. But did you get the question?
Yes, I got the question. And, it has to, I don't really know him personally, but what I can tell him is that you don't want to be in this situation where you are placed in where you are placed to compete with another man. And I believe that if she truly loves you, she would come and then without any other problem. But then I want to draw his attention to this. At times it could be that she's using that as a pressure for him to come quickly and do the needful. That is where I'm careful to say that leave this relationship. Exactly, the entire thing, because it is a bit complex. There are people, ladies who have been in relationships and then maybe for one reason or the other they have left one relationship and this one did not work. So now making the mind that, okay, the next relationship I'm going to be in, I need to do something to put pressure and but these are a lot of whole things that I would please humbly ask that in this case, if you have clearly seen that the lady is with another man, please advise yourself.
Okay. Please advise yourself.
Yeah.
It's not Champions League.
Yeah.
Zed, I guess, is from Tema. If you can hear me. Good morning and thanks for your time.
Thank you. So please, I have a question, and my question is about when I heard the man of God saying expectations. So now I'm married, and maybe I have expectation. I have things I want to do when I get married. But maybe, no, not even maybe. Now things are not going my way. I think I didn't really hear that if maybe you can help me out, that what is the next step? Maybe what I wanted to achieve, or maybe in the first 1 year, the plans I had, but maybe it didn't go according to how I wanted, or even didn't happen at all. I don't know if they can help me, if maybe there's a way out.
Thank you very much for calling as well. Please.
I think when within the first year of marriage, if your expectations are not met, it's not late. So you can still come back to that, see why those expectations are not met, learn from the reasons and the reason why it did not work, and then put a realistic one. For instance, when you put unrealistic expectations in 1 year of marriage, it is unlikely that you meet them. So you go back and sit down, set them right, and then I believe you should be good to go. And then, especially if you are married, sit together, team up with your spouse, and then work it out. And I believe you should be fine.
Okay, all right, okay. We're talking about the king and the
Yes.
not the queen, the subordinate. Or is that in the context? Is it a king and a queen, or is it a king and a subordinate?
Let's put it way, king and queen. Let's put it this way. But then I think coming from that background and also from a Christian background.
I'm going to have to pause you
All
right there
okay.
because we have Emmanuel from Amasaman on the line. Good morning, Emmanuel. Great. The counselors can hear you if you can make your submission.
I've been monitoring you about 5-10 minutes ago, and I've heard a lot of what your people are saying. I'm asking a question. I am in a relationship and planning to do the needful. But it seems of late, the woman that I'm living with is having some issues. I'm a taxi driver. So if I go to work, those that I pick as customers, I took their numbers, the ladies in that. So if they need me, they called me. If I come home, the woman will take my phone and pick the number and call the person. Meaning that person is my girl, or I'm doing something with her. I don't understand. So how will happen for somebody to think of his spouse? I just want to know, because I've decided to end the relationship. Then we have 4 kids, so I don't want to go other way around so that my kids will be stranded at one side. So I want your advice.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you for that question. So they're coexisting, if
Yes,
this is what I'm getting. How do we fix that?
I think you should go for counseling, because at this point, the lady has trust issues. And then if you don't fix it, it's going to be a problem. So I would advise him to go for counseling, and they will try to trace the reason why she has this trust. Maybe she has seen something that gives her that opportunity to doubt the man. So I believe rather than breaking up with the lady, they should first of all go for counseling, and then they will trace the root of the root cause of the yes, please. I would advise, don't, for the sake of the children, let's also investigate before you can take that step. All right.
Okay, all right. So you heard the counselor. Don't break it off just yet. Go for counseling. Very important. So we have Karen from Kaswa. Terry. Oh, okay. Terry from Kaswa. Hi, Terry.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we can hear you. You're on air.
Yeah, please, I want to ask a question. I'm dating a lady. We have been moving on for a while now. But at any time she does something wrong, she doesn't accept a mistake. So instead, I will be the one apologize all the time. She doesn't accept anything as a mistake. She doesn't accept anything as a mistake at all. She always play arrogant, stubborn, always. So I get tired and I don't know what to do. So I need advice concerning it.
Right. Thank you very much. We don't accept it. Let me give it to since it's the lady who does it.
Wow.
Apologize. Yeah.
Well, this is a very complex scenario. We do not really know whether it is a bad trait of character, which is being unfolded there. But with the man, I will advise that the two of them seek guidance and counseling from somebody, a trusted person, because sometimes if she is wrong, because I put that if because I don't know what he really calls wrong, because there are some people who are easily offended. You know, you do 1, 2, so they are easily offended. So there can be some underlying factors there that make the person to behave this way. So it's better that the two of them should find somebody, a trusted person, if they are believers, and they can approach a church counselor, for example, or even go to a professional counselor. That is the best way, to have this concern addressed. Else, when someone is easily irritated, offended, there might be some other factors beyond that which we heard. That's what I can say.
Interesting. How much is counseling? Because you see, when you keep telling us go for counseling, and you say, Rev Pastor just said, don't go to church counselors. Even if you might, then you have to go to the professional counselor. But how much? Before then, Precious will Biadela will pick a call there.
Yeah, Naomi. Yes, Naomi is calling from Spintex. Good morning, Naomi.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we can hear you now. You can speak.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, Naomi. Please tell me your problems. All the counselors are listening to you.
My problem is I have married for 15 years, and me and my husband, we have not given birth is we went to, I was sick. I don't know that they have do my husband operation twice. So when I was sick, when we married, and one of my neighbors sent me to hospital, and the doctor told me that I should bring my husband. So when we went, and the thing went and reviewed there, and I don't know that they have do my husband operation before marrying me 2 times. So we did not have any child. But me and one man have given birth. The baby of my husband have died since when my husband came and meet me and marry me. But I don't know that my husband, they have do him operation. So when we went to the hospital, when the doctor told me that I should bring him, and the doctor approved everything to. So one day, when we came back to home, my husband was crying, and I told him that it's not because of this one I will leave him. So my mother was insulting me, my sisters.
Naomi?
Hello.
Yes. We can hear you.
My mother was insulting me that why did I go and marry this man? I'm supposed to leave him. My sisters have been insulting me, embarrassing me. That have you seen that you cannot give birth because of this man. Cannot give you pregnant. And I say, God's time is the best. For 15 years, they are insulting me, and I say, God's time is the best. I will never leave him. God's time is the best. So one day, when my husband called me and told me that I should go and stay with another man, and I said, me, I will not do that. Call our sisters and his brothers and told them that, see the thing when his brother asked that I should go and meet him. And I said, I will never do it. So we are married as now. We have not breaking. We are going to 16 years.
Wow, Naomi must be a very strong woman.
Yes,
Yeah, strong-willed woman.
I can tell you that. Wow.
Counselor, over to you.
I think I want to carry my title as a pastor to speak to this because I want to appreciate her first because that is really, you can see that she's a strong woman.
Yes.
And then I want to encourage her to continue to fight. The reason why she said she's sticking into this marriage, even though the man, if I heard her right, that the man wanted her even to go to somewhere else. And then she said, no, I want to tell you that continue to hold on. The Lord will give you your own. So you will carry your child. And I know that cases like this, we have seen it through the scriptures countless times where God himself has came through and then will visit you. I think that she's taking it in the angle of faith. She's putting her faith to work, and then she's encountering the challenges and the obstacles and the negative comments and all the things that she's facing from her family side. I want to encourage you, continue to fight, continue to stand strong, but then at the same time, make sure that you are okay. This is so important mentally. Don't stress yourself too much, all right? And then this is basically what I want to say. And in case you anytime want to talk to someone, because when you are taking negativity from all sides, at a point you may even break down. So find someone reliable that you can always, I think you just called that you did well. So you can always call and then they will always help you out. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very. But you see, again, I come from a point where I ask the very unthinkable things. Is it the case that everyone, God purposed that every woman must be able to give birth? Because I need us to come to a certain knowledge whether or not it is written so that we can blame our God for not giving everyone a child.
All right. Should I? Yes, I think let him answer.
Well, if you want to go from the scripture perspective, when the scripture says there shall not be any barren among in your land and all that. So it's not clearly stated.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to pick my last
All
one.
right.
Sandra from Kokomlemle. Hi, Sandy.
Hello.
Okay, so you're on air. Tell us.
And I'm very, very interested. I got married too.
Sandra, can you position yourself well so we can clearly hear you, please?
Okay. New Year,
Yes.
I have 2 kids. And I got married to an elderly person. And
Coco, can you hear? Because I can't seem to hear. Sandy, can you please, or probably you should try calling back if that will help. Sandy? Oh, that's unfortunate. So,
Yes. So because in Psalm 127, the Bible says that children are heritage, they are reward from the Lord. So when you view it in this from this angle, yes, your faith can be triggered that every couple, two people, every couple that really trust in the Lord, they have submitted everything, they've surrendered their lives to Christ and everything. So they can, by faith, draw something out of that declaration which is made. And it's a matter of faith. Again, but we shouldn't base on that to blame one that is not able to give birth. In the Bible, for example, you see Isaac, when he realized that the same thing that happened with the parents was happening with his wife, Rebekah. Like the Bible, it said Isaac prayed for his wife, and then she conceived. So I believe God answers prayer, and anybody facing these kind of challenges, that will truly and sincerely carry it before the Lord without complaint and with thanksgiving, as the Bible recommends. The Lord has a way of bringing that faith alive and then fulfilling that promise that He has given. But for some reasons, people get married and then they wait for long years without having a child at all. Is it that they don't have faith? No. This one, I may attribute that to the sovereignty of God. He decides that these ones be like that. Sometimes you check the two and they are okay. It's not like they have health issues, but something is not just coming. And so when it is like that, maybe because of your purpose or the mission attached to your life, God would like you to function like that so that you can wholeheartedly, give yourself, for that assignment, that peculiar assignment given to you. That may be also, an answer to it. But primarily, everyone who has really clearly surrendered his life to Christ and believe in the God of the Bible. Right from the Old Testament, we have many cases where the Lord intervened and then granted barren couples, children. So it is part of the promises, part of the package. So we can trigger and our faith towards that and receive.
Finally, within 1 minute, is it free to call a counselor? And if not as well, please put your numbers out there if it's possible so they can call you.
It is free to call a counselor, but it is not free for you to be taken through the sessions. Okay. All right, so...
Put your numbers out there regardless.
Yeah, my number is 0264 243312.
Please we'll take it again slowly.
Yeah, 0264 243312. on social media. That is Bernadette Nikiema, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Nikiema, we're grateful. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God
We are
bless you.
grateful for your research.
Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Very, very educative, right? I loved it. Nikiema. So it's free to call. It's not free to meet. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now Koku knows how to treat me, right? Yeah, manage expectations with me.
I think so.
Yeah, right. It's still the month of love, and we're going to be having a discussion about money in marriage. The 2 M's. Your money is your money, my money is our money, or my money is my money, your money is our money. That discussion, and I know that you're fired up for it. So let's go for a break, and then when we get back, we'll have that discussion.